In the quiet town of Amityville, New York, there stands a house that looks ordinary at first glance. Its walls are painted a soft shade of yellow. Its roof is steep, like many Dutch colonial homes. Windows are large and bright. From outside, it seems welcoming, but appearances can be deceiving. Behind these walls, tragedy and darkness waited. The story begins in 1974. The DeFeo family lived here. Ronald DeFeo Sr., a father, Louis DeFeo, a mother, and their children, 6 in total. Neighbors remembered the family as quiet. They were polite. They lived like any other family in the neighborhood. But on the night of November 13th, everything changed. Ronald DeFeo Jr., the eldest son, was alone in the house. He picked up a rifle. One by one, he murdered his family. Father, mother, brothers, sisters. 6 lives ended that night. Police arrived the next morning. What they saw shocked the entire nation. The DeFeo home, once a peaceful house, was now stained with tragedy. During his trial, Ronald Jr. claimed, voices in the house told him to commit these acts. He said he could hear whispers at night, commands that he could not resist. The idea that a house could influence a person was terrifying to everyone who heard it. People avoided walking past the house. Some even moved away from the street entirely. For months, the house remained empty. Its windows dark, its doors closed, but it wasn't forgotten. In December 1975, a new family arrived. George and Kathy Lutz moved in. They had 3 children. They wanted a fresh start, a happy life in a new home. But soon they began noticing strange things. Doors would slam on their own. Cold spots appeared in the rooms. Whispers echoed at night. George saw strange shadows moving across the walls. Kathy felt an unseen presence in her bedroom. Objects would disappear, then reappear. Furniture moved without explanation. Animals behaved oddly. Dogs barked at nothing. George and Kathy tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was the house settling. Maybe it was stress. But the experiences intensified. One night, George woke up to a strange sound. The floorboards creaked, but no one was there. He felt an oppressive weight in the air. Kathy saw a green mist hovering near the staircase. Over the following weeks, the occurrences grew worse. Voices became louder. The family felt trapped. They could not sleep. Fear had entered their home. The Lutzes documented everything. They took photographs of strange phenomena. They called in priests to bless the house. Even religious rituals failed to stop the events. Soon, the family realized they could not stay. After just 28 days, George and Kathy packed their belongings. They left the house forever. The story of the Amityville Horror had begun. What was it about this house that caused such terror? Was it the murders? Or something darker? Something unseen? Even today, people visit the street. They look at the house cautiously. Some claim to feel a chill in the air. Some say they see shadows in the windows. The Amityville Horror House continues to fascinate and frighten. This house, ordinary in appearance, holds extraordinary secrets. Secrets that refuse to be forgotten. Secrets that continue to haunt all who enter. The Lutz family moved into the house in December 1975. They were hopeful, excited to start a new chapter. George Lutz was a tall man, calm and rational. Kathy Lutz was gentle, a loving mother to their 3 children. The first night was quiet, too quiet. George noticed the clocks. They all stopped at 3:15 a.m. A cold wind swept through the hallways. Even though all doors were closed, Kathy felt an icy chill in her bedroom. It was not ordinary cold. It was unnatural, oppressive. Over the next few days, strange occurrences multiplied. Objects moved from one room to another. Furniture shifted slightly, without explanation. The family dog barked at empty corners. Whispers echoed in empty rooms. George heard voices in his sleep. Kathy saw shadows that had no source. The children reported seeing figures in the corners. George tried to remain logical. Perhaps the house was old. Perhaps the heating system caused drafts. But the events grew more frightening. One morning, George awoke. A strong smell of sulfur filled the air. It lingered in the rooms for hours. Kathy felt hands touching her while she slept. The children refused to enter certain rooms. George contacted a priest. The priest blessed the house. Candles were placed in every room. But the disturbances did not stop. Voices became louder at night. The family felt watched constantly. Unseen forces seemed to manipulate them. George reported waking up at 3:15 a.m. every night. Strange symbols appeared on walls. Doors opened and closed on their own. The children began to cry in the middle of the night. George and Kathy tried to rationalize again. They consulted experts. Paranormal investigators came. They recorded unusual sounds. They took photographs of unexplained shadows. Even skeptics admitted that something was wrong. Kathy Lutz began feeling the presence as physical pressure. She felt something lying on top of her, pushed her down in bed. George experienced vivid nightmares. Nightmares so real, he could not distinguish them from reality. The family attempted to live normally, but fear was constant. They avoided certain rooms. They did not cook in the kitchen at night. The house had taken control. George believed the evil presence could be tied to the previous murders. The violent energy of the DeFeo killings remained trapped within the walls. It sought to torment the new occupants. One night, George awoke to a vision. A green mist filled the staircase. A voice whispered, "Get out!" The children screamed. Kathy called a priest again. Eventually, the Lutzes realized they could not stay. After 28 terrifying days, they left the house. They never returned. The story became national news. The Amityville Horror House was no longer just a home. It became a symbol of unexplained evil. Journalists, investigators, and curious visitors came. Many claimed to feel the same oppressive presence. Even today, the house sparks debate. Skeptics say the Lutz story was fabricated. Believers maintain the events were real. Regardless, the house has cemented itself in paranormal history. The Amityville Horror House continues to fascinate. Its windows seem to watch those who pass by. Its walls keep secrets. Secrets of murder, secrets of terror, secrets that refuse to fade. After the Lutz family left, the house stood empty again. Its reputation had grown. People whispered about it in the town. Curious visitors would drive by. Some claimed to see strange lights. Some reported hearing screams at night. Journalists arrived to investigate. Photographers captured the house at dusk. Some reported ghostly figures in windows, doors opening and closing on their own. The house became a symbol of fear, yet it attracted attention. Paranormal investigators studied it. They set up cameras and recording devices. They hoped to capture evidence of the unexplained. One investigator reported a shadow moving across the hallway. Another claimed to hear voices speaking in an unknown language. Temperature readings dropped suddenly. Electronic devices malfunctioned. Cameras stopped working without reason. Stories spread across the country. Books were written about the events. Movies were made inspired by the house. The legend of Amityville grew. Some researchers questioned the Lutz story. They argued that it was exaggerated. Skeptics examined photographs and interviews. They pointed out inconsistencies. Yet, believers maintained their accounts were true. The DeFeo murders remained central to the story. The violent deaths seemed to stain the home forever. It was believed the house absorbed this energy, and it influenced those who lived there later. Visitors today still report unusual experiences. Some feel sudden chills. Some see shadows where none should be. Local residents avoid walking past the property at night. Even years later, the house evokes fear. The architecture itself seems ordinary, yet the energy within is anything but normal. Windows that appear calm hide secrets. The rooms, seemingly empty, hold memories of horror. Many have tried to live in the house. Few stayed more than a few weeks. The Lutz's experience was the most widely publicized. But even after them, strange occurrences continued. People often debate, is the house truly haunted, or is it a product of imagination? Skeptics and believers will never agree. Yet the stories persist. The Amityville Horror House continues to draw attention. Its fame has reached international levels. Books, documentaries, and films explore its tale. But one truth remains undeniable. The house has left a mark on all who encounter it.